guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video I'm going to review Season 3, Episode 10 of Awkward, Redefining Jenna. Holy crap. This episode was so amazing. By far the best episode of the season. I mean, it was just so intense, very amazing. And, I mean, it wasn't really that intense till, like, the end. But it got really intense towards the end. And especially from that promo, what we got, it looks like it's going to get a lot more intense. And I thought everything was really great. All four plots were really great. There were actually 4 plots, and that was interesting. So let's first get to the main plot, of course. Pretty much, Collin and his girlfriend are hosting a party. I'm trying to find the remote so I can turn off the TV. There it is. So Collin and his girlfriend are hosting a party. I always forget his girlfriend's name. Angelique, that's her name. Collin and Angelique are hosting a party, but on the same night, there is a Black Friday party. So now it is Thanksgiving time. And Tamara decides that she wants to be the one to host the party. And Jenna and Matty want to go to Collin's party, but Matty kind of tells Jenna how he's really only doing it because he supports her and he wants to be, you know, he really supports her and he cares about her and he just wants to be there for her so that way she has somebody there, and I think that's great. I mean, he's a really great boyfriend for that. But then they sort of get into this big argument in the car, and I thought their performance here was great. Both of their performances, Ashley Rickards and Beau Murkoff, were great in this episode. I mean, they were amazing. It's Beau Murkoff, but both of them were amazing. So, pretty much what happens is, as they are arguing, Matty kind of gets into how he's always felt like bad for Jenna because he always felt like when people thought she committed suicide in the first episode, that it was his fault because, if you guys remember, they had sex right before. And I think it was very interesting that they brought this subject back and how Jenna said how it wasn't really about her, and he said how he always felt bad for her and he always felt like it was his fault that he did it. And I really liked how they got into that, and in the end, Jenna ends up going to the party all by herself, and Matty goes over to the other party. So Matty ends up going to Tamara's party, and Jenna is stuck at Collin's party. And we see right away how when Collin sees Jenna, he is very impressed by her. Like, he just is very impressed by her. And we saw before in the episode how, though, she was trying to get over him, and how she didn't really want anything to do with him. So why'd she go to his party? I think it's because Jenna, while she wants to get over him, she's not. She's not going to get over him. It's something she hasn't experienced yet. And, you know, I don't really know. Personally, though, I really like Jenna and Matty. I mean, I didn't love them in the beginning of the season. I thought Matty was just kind of a standard boyfriend. It was just really silly. But he's gotten to be such a great boyfriend, especially in this episode. I mean, he was such a great boyfriend to her. He didn't really want to go to this party, but he did just for her. And then he didn't because they had a huge argument. If that argument would have happened, he would have gone for her. So that's pretty much what happened there. So then the other thing that was interesting was after this happens, though, Collin and Jenna end up talking, and he kisses her. And when I say they kiss, they make out pretty much. And she's not picking up her phone. It ends up being midnight. And here's the big cliffhanger. As they're kissing, a car goes by. And then you see Matty. And Jenna's just like, hey. And that's how it ended. So I don't really know what's going to happen here. I don't really know if Jenna is, if Matty actually saw Jenna and Collin kiss. I think he probably did, but he's not going to say anything to her. I think that's what's going to happen. He's not going to say anything to her, but he knows that they did. But he's not going to say anything because that's Matty. He's not going to say anything because he wants to be a supportive boyfriend. He wants to be there for her. and he cares about her, so he doesn't want to acknowledge it. And I think that's great that he doesn't want to acknowledge it. I mean, he's a really great boyfriend for that. So then in the meantime, my favorite part of the episode, I think, was definitely Tamara and Jake. These two are probably one of the cutest couples on TV right now. I mean, I actually, between Jenna and Matty and Tamara and Jake, I prefer Tamara and Jake. I mean, Matty and Jenna are very cute, but that's mainly because of Matty. Jenna just feels like she's not part of this relationship anymore. She doesn't really care about it anymore. Even though in the beginning of the episode we saw she did. And I think Jenna's just going through this rebellious state, and we're going to see how this is going to come into play, and I will talk about that in the promo. But we see how with Tamara and Jake, how all season, she's been begging him to do things for her. She's always expecting him to come along for her, and she's hosting this party. Everything's going crazy, and, you know, the two girls that are hosting it need everything to be ready. She's in charge of everything pretty much. And Jake's kind of tired of it. And Matty says, how why don't you just break up with her? But he said he could never do that. And I was very happy they didn't break up because, I mean, they are so cute together that if they were to break up, that would just ruin the entire episode. Because, I mean, it was great to see them fight, but it was very lighthearted. I mean, it was definitely more like in the style of just really silly what they were fighting about. Because, I mean, what they were fighting about was quite silly. I mean, all she did was ask him to do a few things, but in the end he just said, you know what, I'm tired of you bossing me around. I'm tired of you always telling me what to do. I'm tired of you making me do everything. You do it yourself. And I like that he did that because, I mean, Tamara was a little out of line. While I love Tamara and she's my favorite character on the show, I told you guys that she's my favorite character, that even though, you know, I love her character, she was out of line. I mean, she was asking for all this stuff, and she could have done it herself, and she didn't. So I thought that was really interesting, and in the end, they do end up talking about it, and everything is okay. But I just loved Tamara in this episode. She was so funny, trying to get all the decorations together, and the girls are being really mean to her, and she's trying to get everything ready, and so yeah, I thought that was great. But the other thing that comes into play here that I really loved is the whole thing with Sadie. We saw a very different side of Sadie in this episode, really caring about Lissa. And we haven't seen Lissa since Indecent Exposure. So, I mean, that's the last time we saw Lissa. Actually, was it Indecent Exposure or was it That Girl Strikes Again? I think it was actually That Girl Strikes Again, but I'm not entirely... It was one of those two episodes. I think it was That Girl Strikes Again. That was the last time we saw Lissa. But we see with Lissa how she's very high-strung and how she's very drunk. And we see how she's very upset. And Sadie asks her why she's so upset. And we find out that she killed Ricky Schwartz. Which was just wow. And I always had an inkling that she had something to do with it, because, I mean, if you go back in episode 2, she didn't want to talk about Ricky Schwartz, and then in the episode where they were trying to summon him up in the Ouija board, Tamara and Sadie, when they were trying to, you know, help get him back in the Ouija board, she said, guys, I brought Tangled, and how she was trying to stop things from happening. This is why. She was the one who killed Ricky Schwartz. She feels she's the one who killed him. But Sadie said how, pretty much, you're not the one that killed him. It's going to be okay. And then we see that she goes to Tamara, though, and she says how she probably did kill him, but I don't want her to beat herself up over it. And I really love seeing this side of Sadie. I mean, it was such a different side of her. I mean, she cared for Lissa. All this time, she's treated Lissa just like a bitch. She's treated Lissa just like her little puppy dog that she walks around and she hangs out with all the time. But now, Lissa really, you know, Tamara and Jake were pretty much how Sadie treats Lissa. Although Tamara and Jake is more playful. Tamara treats Jake like a puppy dog, though. She did treat him like a puppy dog, and I like how he said that. But, I mean, Sadie's sort of done the same thing. She's not really nice to Lissa. I mean, she's the one who gave Lissa a broken neck. And, we saw how her neck is starting to get straightened, so she should be okay. But does that mean Tamara's off the cheerleading squad? I really hope not, because, I mean, Tamara's the perfect fit for cheerleading. That was one of the best decisions we made. was making Tamara a cheerleader, because she really did deserve it. But yeah, so I really loved the side of Sadie we got. I thought it was just a very good side we saw of her, and I just really enjoyed seeing the side of Sadie. It's not really a side we've seen before, and I was very happy about it. So yeah, I thought that was great. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the whole thing with Ming. Absolutely hilarious. Ever since she punched Becca, you know, those Asian people are following her around, and it gets to the point where she meets the accountant, as she puts him, which is actually a small boy who has a key to everything, and she has now joined the Asian Mafia, which is hilarious. She's now leader of the Asian Mafia, and when she helped out Tamara, and she even gave Tamara a bouncy house, which I thought was really funny. And I just thought, Ming's storyline was great. Ming was hilarious, too. I thought everything that happened with Ming was great, and it was great that we got a few more things with Ming. Tamara and Jake and Ming were the comic relief of this episode, because, I mean, the Jenna and Matty thing, it wasn't very funny for them at all. It was very dramatic, actually, and it was quite a dark episode, I'd say, especially all the conversations that Matty and Jenna had in this episode were very intense. All of them. Every single conversation they had was very intense in this episode. Even the ones that, you know, that didn't seem intense, they definitely were intense because of what Jenna was doing. And it looks like in this promo, I did see the awkward after show, by the way, that was absolutely hilarious. Nikki and Sarah definitely know how to host a good after show. They should be doing all of them. They're so good at it. It was very funny. I especially loved the trivia part. I thought that was great. And we saw how the girl who plays Ming, there is now a change in the character. Ming is now going to have blonde hair, no more hat, no more glasses. So we'll see what happens there. And she's wearing dresses now. She's not going to be looking like a hipster. So we'll have to see what happens with Ming. And it also looks like it's going to be a lot more dramatic in the next half of the season. Because I really think that's great, though. Because, I mean, it's been so funny this season, but it's great that we're going to see it much more dramatic. Because, I mean, the show, in my opinion, is a drama with comedy elements. And really, it's been a comedy with drama elements. And I really think it's going to be really cool to see it as a drama with comedy elements. We see how Jenna is pretty much going to lose everything because of Collin. Collin is basically now screwed up her life, pretty much. Here's what I think is probably going to happen. Matty is probably going to see the kiss, but he's not going to tell Jenna about it. But he's not going to want to talk to her. He's going to avoid Jenna at all costs. She's going to be the one, I feel like she's going to be the one to say, I can't do this anymore. And we don't really know if they broke up. We see in the promo how Val is asking her mother, did they break up? And by the way, that scene with Val and her mom was absolutely hilarious. And that in the episode, that scene with Val and her mom, hilarious. That was great. That was one of the best parts. But it looks like Val's calling her mom, and she said, is Jen and Matty still together? And she says, I don't know. And we see how Jenna's crying like, Mom, I need to talk to you. And she's like, I'm not talking to you anymore. And we see how Tamara and Ming are going to leave her. We see a scene where she says hi to everybody, and Jake, Sadie, Tamara, and Matty all leave, and Ming. They all leave her there, and she has this whole new rep, and I think she's just going through a very rebellious stage, and it just looks like it's going to be amazing, honestly. That whole promo, it was so intense, but it was amazing. I did like the part, though, where Tamara's like, she did get arrested, and Matty's like, she didn't get arrested, and Tamara's, well, she almost did, same thing. That was funny. But really, it's going to be really, I think, very dramatic, and we gotta wait till the fall now, and it's fine. I mean, I am really looking forward to it, though, because, I mean, it's been such a great first half of the season. It's been so good. Even the episode like Indecent Exposure and Reality Check, which were not my favorites, they were still very funny, and I still did like them, even though they weren't my favorites. I did really like them. But the one thing that I've loved all season, that there haven't been moments when I felt that Matty and Jenna were going to break up. And I thought they were going to break up in this episode. I'm happy they didn't, because it was the perfect way to go on a cliffhanger. I was happy it wasn't anticlimactic, and cliffhanger was the perfect way to end it. If they would have just ended it without a cliffhanger, it wouldn't have been the right thing to do. You know, I can totally see why they ended with a cliffhanger. So I really, really loved the episode. I thought it was really great. A really great finale. I really loved it. Redefining Jenna was perfect title because she really changed her ways in this episode in a bad way. And it's really going to bite her in the back, I think. So that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next video. Okay, bye. And my next video will be my review of Twisted. So see you then. Bye.